Well, the latest signing at Arsenal goes by the names of Viktor Gyokeres, and he's really making headlines. And I've gone hate to see some people come out and really mock the player in the names of Viktor Gyokeres, that he came in through and really looked bad. Do you remember those mocks that they went ahead to do on Lukaku? You remember them very well. Now, that's what people have gone ahead obviously doing to Viktor Gyokeres, and I don't think that it really carries or makes any sense. So, we're here to obviously let you know that Mourinho has gone ahead to send a warning to Arsenal for signing Viktor Gyokeres, and he has obviously gone ahead to really send it to everyone who is really responsible. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and we are here to talk Jack Grealish and Boja. You know, Boja is one of those players that was at Southampton on loan from Chelsea and went ahead to obviously score very many goals. In the due course of scoring very many goals, returned at Chelsea, broke his leg, and his career went south, and he's not one of those players that you can obviously even think about. But at Southampton, very many clubs were really interested in him. I think even Chelsea had even went ahead to knock on the door to sign the player, and it shows you how huge that player had gone ahead to obviously call for interest from big clubs like that. So that is it, and let's continue to subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers. 2nd of August it is, and Rokani David is here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Now, Jose Mourinho is one of the managers that went ahead to obviously talk about Gyokeres signing for the club of Arsenal. And this resonated well with what Jose Mourinho this resonated well with what those football banters went ahead to obviously come at the guy that he looked bad when he was playing Tottenham Hotspur. And Arteta came out and defended his player with lots of words in there. And now, Mourinho said on Gyokeres is a great player, I have no doubt, but Sporting had a way of playing very much around him, very adapted. I don't know what Hugo Vienna and Amorim initially thought. He's a player with a great potential, but in EPL, he'll play against strong teams, better sides. That's the sound he went ahead to obviously raise out. That he has been playing in the Liga, I think Portugal, is it called the Liga? Therefore, their Premier League, and he has not been facing tough players like he's obviously going to be facing the Premier League. And I 100% agree with Jose Mourinho because Gyokeres is headed onto a task. One, why? He's coming to a club that has taken very many years without having a player who can even score 20 Premier League goals a season. If you really saw well, the side of Gyokeres has been, the side of Arsenal, especially into the Mikel Arteta era, I think the highest scoring player in the Premier League has been Gabriel Martinelli. Did he score 16 goals, if I'm not mistaken, that season? And then Odegaard scored 15. I think Saka had 14 that season, and that's why it really looked very well in the season of 2022-2023. Now, this guy is coming in through, and when he's coming in through, a lot is really happening. You know, when he's coming in through, a lot is really happening because everyone is expecting goals from him. And by the way, apart from what Mourinho is saying, Arsenal fans are holding huge expectations for Viktor Gyokeres. That's it. And that's where things really don't go on well, you know, because if you don't deliver in the first 5 games, I tell you what, they'll obviously start to mock you. I know fans, they'll be like, would have gone ahead to bring in Benjamin Sesko. And let me tell you this, if Gyokeres takes 5 games without scoring, and Sesko goes ahead to obviously score 2-3 goals in his first 5 games, fans will be like, we would have gone ahead to get in that guy on us would have gone ahead to get in that player known as Gyokeres. Sorry, Sesko, not Gyokeres. So that's how things are really going to be panning out. And I think Jose Mourinho is obviously trying to use his experience to obviously try to really warn Arsenal fans that please don't have huge expectations from this player. Judge him game after game, and every player is as good as his previous 90 minutes. You understand? So Mourinho is like, please play it wise and don't have huge expectations for this guy known as Viktor Gyokeres. And I think he's really sending a message that is really right. Because when you look at the defenders that has been facing, I think the only team that really has elite defenders into that Portuguese league, I think there are two, FC Porto and Benfica. You understand? Because Benfica has this tall 19-year-old Portuguese international, Silva. He's called Antonio Silva, something of the sort. And then Benfica, they do really have some good defenders. But the rest of the teams, they don't have defenders that really match the levels of Ruben Diaz, Lisandro Martinez, William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes. You understand? So I think Mourinho is right. The other part that we can talk about is all about a player. So it's all about the player himself and the club that's going to have to come to. You know, I've gone ahead to read somewhere that Arteta has to change the way he plays to see to it that this guy fits into his playing system. You understand? That's what we've gone ahead to hear. But I think that was already done. The blueprint is already there. But will Jokeres fit into that system as up? Because as things move on and as they prevail right now at the club of, as things prevail at the club of Arsenal, the striker is needed. And the good thing is that they'll create chances. But the question is, will they obviously create chances that this guy will obviously be able to find and really score? Because for him, he's a typical number 9, clinical, and his positional finish is undoubted. But we wait and see how that pans out, whether this deal will obviously makes sense in there. Now, this guy was linked to Fenerbahce, and some people are like, Jose Mourinho is obviously saying that because the player rejected Fenerbahce and decided to come in and really play for a side known as Arsenal. So other people are like, Mourinho is just biased that the player rejected him and went ahead to obviously play for the side of Arsenal. But Mourinho has come out and said that, unfortunately, of the 3,400 lies that have been told about the transfer market, one of them is that Gyokeres is going to Fenerbahce. Unfortunately, so many lies, so much interest, so many people working for agents, for clubs. It's a war that's not my own. So he's like, we are not interested in Viktor Gyokeres because we noted that he couldn't obviously skip Arsenal, Man United, Juventus, Napoli, name it, and crosses to this side. You understand? But I think every manager like Mourinho would want a striker like Gyokeres. That is it. So he cannot come out and really say in the public domain that they really need the player. He won't come out and really say that. He won't because very many managers obviously don't want to admit defeat, that they really ever wanted a player when a player really goes somewhere else. You even see Man United, they're like, we are not interested in Viktor Gyokeres. Yet we knew it from day one that if Ruben Amorim was to prioritize any striker, Viktor Gyokeres could obviously be one of those that will obviously take that number 1 spot in there for you. So that is all about Viktor Gyokeres in there, and I really think that a lot is obviously going to be going his way. My problem is that he hasn't gone ahead to get enough time to really train with the club of Arsenal. But I think the manager knows how to obviously best bring him in. Wednesday, Arsenal is playing, and I think on Saturday, Sunday, they're also playing again before they obviously play their first Premier League game against Man United. You understand? So we are here to wait and see how things are really going to be panning out in here onto this beautiful channel, and let's continue to obviously see how things will obviously pan out in there. So for me, Gyokeres will obviously fit with that kid club of Arsenal because Kai Havertz is there to obviously take the pressure off him. If Kai comes in through and plays 60, then Joris will come in through and play 30. Then next game, he'll play some 40. And with no time, we'll obviously see him adapting to the squad of Arsenal and their playing tactics. But I think the next game they're really playing against Villarreal at Emirates on Wednesday, I think Joris will obviously get in more and more minutes. And I know that it will obviously work on well for this club. And I know very many Arsenal fans are really blowing their pinky finger, wanting this guy to succeed because very many jerseys have gone ahead to be sold. And I don't think that Arsenal have ever gone ahead to sign a player and jerseys have gone ahead to obviously get sold like that. They're really on high demand if you've gone ahead obviously know on how things are really coming in through. So from that, let's cross to Man City. Jack Grealish whereabouts, or his next destination, is really hanging in balance because Observer UK have told us that Jack Grealish have already turned down the chance to join one of Turkey's superpowers earlier this summer, while a proposal from Napoli remains on the table. Now, I don't know what Jack Grealish really wants. If such an offer comes in through, if I'm Jack Grealish, I take it there and then. I don't even look back because if Napoli is there, you can't obviously keep Napoli waiting. You know? You can't obviously keep Napoli waiting. And in the due course of really keeping Napoli waiting, they've gone ahead to get in Kevin De Bruyne, you know? So, and very many other players are really going to Napoli. So, this guy is really making like his life hard. And I think he doesn't want to leave the Premier League because he knows to it that that going to the World Cup, players playing the Premier League will be considered first. They'll be given first priority. And he's like, I would rather stay in the Premier League, all else get loaned to Aston Villa, other than going out to play that side. And I really support him. Though, if you obviously go down there and really play very well, I tell you, there is no way Thomas Tuchel won't obviously include you into his club that will go to the World Cup. All you have to do is go to Napoli. They're really performing very well. They're the defending champions of the Italian Serie A. They won the Scudetto, you know, again. They've won it twice in a space of 3 years. So it shows you that they're really serious. And I think his only concern could be on the longevity of the manager of Napoli, as very many other big clubs are really interested in signing the dude. So I think that's where everything will obviously not go to where they want it to be. So as it stands, the side of Jack Grealish, I think the earlier the better because the season is soon beginning and he's not training with Man City. I'm talking about the first team because they even left him in. They even never included him into what you call the FIFA Club World Cup squad. So, looks like he's a surplus to requirement at the side of City, and so doing, it won't really work on well as he really wants it to be. So, that is it for the side of Jack Grealish, but we are here to wait and see where he's obviously going to be playing next. Now, let's obviously get to our last spot of the video, and it's all about Broja. I think you had even forgotten about this guy. Amado Broja has completed main part of his medical tests at Burnley. Deal done with Chelsea. Now, this guy went ahead to play at Southampton, went ahead to score at where they 16 Premier League goals, you understand? And Chelsea took him back, you know? And he couldn't obviously last for, I think, 2 or 3 months because went ahead to obviously break, was it his knee? Got a surgery, and ever since then, Amad Broja has never gone ahead to be the same. But Chelsea They know how to do business. They found themselves in a position of really convincing Burnley that this is the right player for you to obviously come out and really sign. And the player, there he goes to obviously undergo the medical at the side of Burnley. Chelsea is really moving on players because they want to bring in players like Alejandro Garnacho and very many others. And that has gone ahead to obviously see João Felix go to the side of Saudi, and that is Ronaldo's side. I think close to 45 million euros were obviously injected into that deal. So Ahmad Broja is another one who is obviously going to the side of Burnley. And Fabrizio told us yesterday it's over between Ahmad Broja and Chelsea. Understand the transfer to Burnley will be permanent. Broja will complete his medical in the next 24 hours and sign long-term with Burnley. Chelsea accepted conditions and he said, here we go. Then after, he said, Ahmad Broja to Burnley on a permanent deal follows Mark Guehi to Sunderland loan and João Felix to Al Nassr. Chelsea won't stop, with Nkunku and Sterling also expected to leave this summer. Nicholas Jackson's situation open. Xavi Simons and Garnacho both high on the list. Now, they are willing to obviously move out other players after letting Guehi go on loan to Sunderland. João Felix, permanent deal to Al Nassr. Then Ahmad Broja to the side of Burnley, permanent deal. Chelsea alike, we are not stopping. We are obviously looking to move on Nkunku, Sterling and Nicholas Jackson such that they pave way for Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons. And I tell you what, if Chelsea goes ahead to add on Xavi Simons and Garnacho onto their team, it's going to be something different altogether. Very, 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 very hard team to obviously defend. Because if you're really having João Pedro, Neto, is it Estavo, Carl Palmer, you understand? There is Gittens. Then you've gone ahead to bring in Alejandro Garnacho, Xavi Simons. Guys, Chelsea is going to be one of those sides that is really a hard nut to crack in the Premier League. And I tell you, we should obviously tighten our seat belts. That is it. We should tighten them because Chelsea is a team to beat. And I've told you my three teams that I really believe are really going to be hard. Arsenal, Man City, and Arsenal, Man City, and Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea. I know most of you are really shocked because I've not gone ahead to obviously include a side known as Liverpool. I've been reiterating about this, that I'll only give Liverpool that benefit of doubt if they obviously get in a player known as Alexander Isak. If Liverpool brings in Alexander Isak, I will there and then add them onto that list. But without Alexander Isak, I tell you, I don't see them really matching or meeting the levels of these other players that have gone ahead, of the other teams that have gone ahead obviously highlight. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name. Rokani Media Football it is. And guys, I know I had taken long without recording a video of 20 minutes, but I think it's really going to be premiering because a video to premiere needs to be like 20 minutes plus. And I think very soon I'll start recording videos of like 1 hour and I obviously premiere them and see how you guys will obviously go onto them. Rokani David is the name. Rokani Media Football is the YouTube channel that you're watching in through. We are bringing you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Mourinho wants Arsenal on Gyokeres signing. Your thoughts on that are really welcome in the comment section below. What advice would you obviously give to a player known as what advice would you give to a player known as Jack Grealish? Because he's like confused, he's in between a hard rock and is it called a hard rock and a hard press? You understand? He's not making a decision. Yet other teams are interested in him outside England, but looks like he wants to stay in England for the World Cup reasons. What do you make about it? And lastly, Ahmad Broja, do you think will obviously shine at the club of Burnley, where he has gone ahead obviously sign a permanent deal there? We out. Those going to bed, good night. But I tell you, we just got started. More stories are really dropping on through this channel. We out.